Galactic Guardian reporting for duty. 369. The whole universe is on your side. What's up? Welcome to the 369 show. In this video, we're going to be talking about how to know your manifestation is near. Woo, we got a video for you today. How to know your manifestation is near. Make sure you stay tuned all the way to the end. We got a special announcement at the end. And you could probably just skip to the end right now, but don't do that. Watch the whole thing. How to know if your manifestation is near. There's a couple of ways to know how your manifestation is near. When you realize that you're not getting what you want because you want it, okay? Realize this. If you're wanting something, if you're needing something, if you're lacking something, you're transmitting not having it. Therefore, you're going to continue not having it. So how to know your manifestation is near is you've been practicing gratitude. That's one way to know that your manifestation is near. You've been practicing gratitude. You've been grateful. You've been feeling good. You know, you're at this state of peace of really feeling like it doesn't even matter what you do because you're just transmitting the frequency. Okay? And when you transmit a frequency, your body naturally emits that frequency, and that just becomes who you are. We become what we repeatedly do. Therefore, success is not an act, but a habit. And when you realize that you become what you repeatedly do, you realize that there's not a lot of things you actually have to consciously do, because when you train your subconscious mind to work for you, it quite literally happens automatically. Everything that you know you're supposed to do, or that you should have been doing, or you could have been, it's not about the past, because realize that you are not your past. You are the present experiencing this moment. You can tap into your past, aka in your memories, or you can tap into your future, aka your imagination. Both of them are very valid places of time and space to tap into and whatnot. But they all exist within yourself. You see, the outer world is an illusion. The real world is within yourself. When you understand that the outer world is only reflecting back to you what you feel and believe about it. Okay? So the next time you have a problem or a situation in your life, just know that it was created internally and it can be solved internally, right? Realize you got to take 100% responsibility of everything in your life, and eliminate mysticism. Eliminate mysticism of I'm a victim and this thing happened to me and this means I am this person that has this problem and that's who I am and that's how I define myself and that's how I see myself. Well, if that's how you see yourself, that's how the world's going to show up to you. As soon as you change your definition, change the label you're placing on yourself, change the meaning, okay? When it becomes who you really are, you no longer have to quote unquote try. I posted a post on Instagram today. I posted a quote on Instagram today, quote of the day, do or do not. There is no try. That's straight from Star Wars, from Yoda. It is very true, because if you're trying, that's actually you just being indecisive and not making a decision. Okay, now here's where it gets really powerful, okay? How to know the universe is working in your favor is you've been giving thanks. Like, if you're giving thanks and you're feeling good and you're thinking about what you want all the time and you're just in this state of being that's just vibrating pure positive energy, when you're already knowing, you're attracting back to you a reflection of your internal frequency and energy and vibration, okay? So if you've been vibrating really good frequency and feelings, something good's coming your way. And not only do you know that, it's going to be coming off your radar screen, okay? Because 99.9% of what the universe has to give to you is off your radar screen, okay? Now, what is your radar screen? The radar screen is what you can see at your physical situation, okay? And when you're looking at your radar screen, you're thinking, oh, this is all that's happening to me. And that's why you define yourself based off your radar screen. And another way to look at it is your radar screen is your past, okay? When you realize that you're the present moment, you are the present moment. Realize that. I'm not Jordan. I'm the present experiencing Jordan. With that being said, whatever energy I choose to tap into is the frequency I become, and which is what the universe is going to materialize physically towards me, okay? So you don't run after your future. You don't strive towards your future. You already are your future. You live from your future. You live as if your future is already here, because in the fifth dimension, it has already happened, okay? And the reason why you can imagine your future is because you are quite literally tapping into the future. You're tapping into your future self. You're tapping into your higher self. You're tapping into the timeline of that physically playing out. And that's why you have access to it, okay? And the way to access your future within your own consciousness, within your own mind, is by being the vibration of, we don't just think random thoughts at random times. Our thoughts come from programs, from our environment, the words, images, and people we see on a day-to-day basis, number one. But our thoughts are also coming in from, or matter of fact, being picked up, because your brain is a neurotransmitter and receiver. What does that mean? You send out thoughts and you receive thoughts. So most of your thoughts aren't even your own, dude. When you realize actually none of your thoughts are your own, that's what really gets really powerful. You realize that none of your thoughts are yours. They're either your thoughts are either programs from your programming, aka what's entered your mind physically, or your thoughts are downloads from your future higher intelligence. So you're the present moment. Woo, this is deep. Okay, look, hold on one second. Let me say this again. All right. You are not your thoughts. Your thoughts aren't yours, okay? Your thoughts aren't yours. Your thoughts are coming from your past, aka memory, aka program, and subconscious programming, okay? That's one place your thoughts are coming from. The other place your thoughts are coming from is from your future, or from your higher self, is downloads. And essentially what's happening is every thought that's ever existed, every action that's ever existed, every feeling that's ever existed, it exists in the ether, or in the Akashic records, in the field of consciousness, in the divine matrix, okay? It all exists. It all exists, okay? Everything exists. Non-exists doesn't exist. Think about it, right? So if everything exists, that means you have access to every potential timeline that your physical vessel could potentially experience. And the one you get in your imagination is going to be determined by your vibrational resonance in this moment, okay? And this becomes very powerful when we realize how this actually works, okay? I'm going to say this again, okay? Number one, for you and for me, okay? In the present moment, all possibilities exist. The present moment is the now. It is the flow. It is the fifth dimension. It is the state of love, consciousness, and free-flowing energy, okay? So your thoughts are coming from your past or your future. How do you know, how do I know if the thoughts are from my future, right? Well, realize this. If it's something that's physically happened to you, that means it's coming from your past or your memory, okay? If it's a program in your head, it's from your past, okay? Now, this is where it gets powerful. Like I said, your future self, there's no one set future. It's just probable timelines. Based off the frequency you transmit in this now moment, that will shift you and put you on a certain timeline and frequency. But how do I get the future I want? Well, you must make that future that you want become your dominant vibrational frequency, and you adopt that future version of yourself that's in your imagination, which you have access to because you're on that vibration. You make those thoughts, feelings, and actions your dominant thoughts, feelings, and actions. And what happens is you merge your current physical reality to that future physical reality. And you do that by shifting vibration, because each vibration holds a different timeline. And this is why feeling good now is the most important thing, right? Feel good and feel better. Why? Because whatever feeling you are emitting is what timeline you will experience, okay? All timelines exist. All possibilities exist. So by definition, if you were feeling bad, odds are what you're doing is you're worrying about what happened to you, or you're identifying with what happened to you. You're anxious about what happened to you. That's the past, okay? And if you're thinking about the past the most, you're going to recreate it. And that's why for some people, shit never changes, right? If nothing changes, nothing changes, right? If nothing changes, nothing. What does that mean? If you want things in your life to change, you're going to have to change things in your life. Define yourself as the future you, not the past you. When you say, who am I? There was this story of this guy that he asked God, who am I? He said, and then God said back to the man, you tell me. And I was like, oh, shit. Right? Because when you take off all the labels, when you take off all the experiences you've had, when you take off everything that's happened to you, when you can get to this place within yourself called the void and realize that you are nothing. You're absolutely nothing, and you're absolutely everything. What does that mean? You are the phrase I am. That's who you are. Whatever you put after I am is who you become. Okay? That's who you become. Whatever you put after I am. So do you have affirmations? Do you have I ams? Because realize this, if you're not defining yourself by the vision of the future, you're automatically left with the memory of the past. That's Dr. Joe Dispenza. Shout out to Dr. Joe. If you're not defining yourself consciously by a vision of the future, you're automatically left with memories of the past. Okay, but you're like, okay, well, that's a new habit. How do I do that? It's going to be something new. Well, realize this. All you have to do is be conscious enough to create a habit. And then it just happens automatically. That's called unconscious competence, okay? So there's 4 levels to learning, okay? And the way this works is there's 4 different steps we go through when processing new information or new habits. And the way it works is the first step is unconscious incompetence, which is you're completely unaware and oblivious, meaning you don't know anything about shit. And there's so much more than anything there. We have so many things we don't know shit about, okay? We have so many things we don't know shit about. And the reason why we don't know shit about it is because we don't even know it exists, okay? And why do we not know it exists? Because we've never been on the vibration to be receptive to the information, okay? And this is where you get people calling things conspiracy theories, because when you hear something that's outside of your vibrational realm or something you've never experienced before, and this is what happens to the egoic mind, okay? The egoic mind says, oh, well, I've never experienced that in my past, so it must not be true. Well, when you realize nothing is true, everything's a self-fulfilling prophecy, then you can become a little bit more open-minded, knowing that everything exists, and the only reason you're experiencing the reality you're currently experiencing is because that's what you believe. Okay? Because every thought is simply a thought, but when you accept it or agree to it, that becomes a belief, and that belief will be a framework that you view the reality in itself, which is only mirroring back to you what you believe, okay? So if you choose to say, oh, that thing doesn't exist, that will be true in your reality from your perspective, okay? But from the eyes of God, from the eyes of Source, all perspectives are true from that perspective. So it doesn't mean you're wrong. There's no such thing as right or wrong. There are just different perspectives. But when someone comes up with a perspective that's different than yours, you say, okay, I don't believe this, but however, I know that anything is possible, all potentialities exist in the field. So let me hear this person out. It doesn't mean I'm going to accept it into my reality, but I'm just going to listen to be what's being said because I don't know what I don't know. And this is the power of, using discernment. You don't have to believe what someone else says. Just take what resonates for you and you can use that into your life. Okay, so that's the first step, unconscious incompetence. The second step is conscious incompetence. This is where you know you don't know. So maybe I'm talking about some things you've never heard of before, but now you're knowing about it. So you're like, okay, you're talking about parallel timelines and parallel realities. How do I learn more about that? I know about it. I know of it, but I need to learn about it. I know I'm looking to learn something. That's called conscious incompetence, where you know you don't know and you're looking to learn, right? Very powerful place to be because now you're at least aware, okay? And this is where it gets very powerful. Step number 3 is called conscious competence. And that's when you're in the process of learning and applying and creating new habits called conscious competence. So this is the stage where you're using your conscious mind to create new habits or conscious mind to learn something new, okay? And you must really be in this stage to create what is called unconscious competence, which is the place where it becomes automatic, aka it's a subconscious program. It's your unconscious patterns, right? You were already unconsciously competent at doing something. What does unconscious competent even mean? It means you are competent without being aware that you're competent. It just happens automatically. It becomes part of you. It's like tying your shoe, brushing your teeth, drinking water, going for a walk. You don't think about it anymore because it's fucking automatic. You see what I'm saying? It's automatic. It's automatic. Making videos is becoming automatic, and I'm realizing that I've made videos a certain way for a long period of time, and I'm like, okay, if I want to improve my content, I got to use conscious competence to learn something new about how I can make better videos, so then I can make that the new pattern, which then can become unconscious competent with that. Okay, and that works with anything and everything in life. So realize this, when you're like, okay, I just keep defining myself from the memory of the past, that's because you're unconsciously competent of thinking negative about your past. Okay, so how do you switch it up? You got to be aware, first of all, that you're doing that, which is called conscious incompetence, where you know that you don't know and you need to learn. And then you're like, okay, so how do I actually do this thing where I'm creating, my life from a vision of the future? Well, you got to use conscious competence. You got to learn how, and lucky for you, I actually teach people how to do that. Where you can learn how to create your own reality. And, my mission here on this earth is to evolve the human race, is to raise the vibration of the collective consciousness. And for us to raise the vibration of the collective consciousness, we must work with individual souls and helping them, follow their passion and follow their purpose. So I'm working with 10 individuals this month in April, helping people follow their passion and purpose and create the reality they prefer. So if that's something you're interested in, you resonate with this message, and you want to learn how to create your own reality by living by a vision of your future instead of a memory of your past, send me a message or comment to this video. I'll be happy to get with you. Now, with that being said, those are the 4 steps of learning. So when it comes to, how to know your manifestation is near, it's all about your frequency. It's all about your feeling, okay? When you've been transmitting the right frequency for long enough, for a period of time, for days, weeks, months, you know that your vibration from yesterday, last week was creating circumstances, situations, events, okay? So odds are, look, if you're experiencing negative, quote unquote negative, which nothing's really negative, that's just our mind's label of things. But if you're experiencing negative things in your life or things you don't prefer, just know that it's something you created, probably today, yesterday, last week, or last month, right? So when you've been vibrating the correct frequency for a while, what's going to happen is you're going to start to experience things you don't prefer, and you got to maintain in that good feeling state. This is where it gets powerful, guys, because remember, you created everything in your life. And the reason why if you're experiencing something you don't prefer right now, it's because you vibrated it in. So for you to get to this place physically that you want to be, you must be willing to allow what's currently being experienced. What's unwanted must be allowed for what's wanted to be received. That's straight from asking is given. It's so powerful. I've experienced this in my own life. I had some failures. I lost some things that I recently had. And I got myself into a situation that I didn't prefer. And I realized it was real easy to keep focusing on the problem. Damn, I can't believe I did that. Why did I do that? Wow, who do I think I am? All these thoughts are coming in. Because when you feel bad, what's happening is every single program that you've ever received in your mind that's associated with that feeling will automatically flood into your consciousness or awareness. And therefore, you're experiencing. Remember, you're not your thoughts. You're experiencing your thoughts. So, like I said, if that's coming in, you don't have to attach to it. And here's what happens, guys. God damn, this is powerful. This is going to be a deep video. Okay, when the thought comes into your awareness, what most people will do is they're unaware that it's a thought. AKA, they're either unaware that it's a thought, or they identify with it. They think it's who they are. Okay, and this is what was happening to me really before I started meditating. Right? Before I started meditating, I was unconsciously identifying with my past. But when you start meditating, you realize you're not your thoughts. You realize you're the presence experiencing them, okay? And you can put whatever you want into your mind. Now, for you to live by a vision of the future, you must identify what that future is. You got to create it, okay? The best way to predict the future is to create it. Because like I said, if you have not clearly defined that vision of the future, you're left with the memories of the past. And your subconscious mind will automatically direct you back to the memory of your past, okay? If you have not clearly defined your future. Okay, and this is especially important when you're experiencing something you don't want. When you're experiencing something you don't want, it's because you created it. You must realize this. And remember this. Like, let me just give you an example, right? Let's say, for example, a week ago, you started feeling really bad because you lost your job. And for this last week, you've been just dwelling in it and just, damn, I can't believe I just lost my job. What am I going to do? My family, this and that. So what's happening is you've been transmitting frequency and vibration all throughout this week that's probably going to create circumstances in these next coming days. And you should already know this, okay? So what's going to happen is you must change your internal state to match the frequency of your future, which is your dominant thoughts, feelings, and actions. Clearly define how you see yourself in the future and who you want to become, and become that person right now. And knowing that you just switch this around. So it's not going to happen immediately, okay? Because like I said, if you've been vibrating a frequency for days, weeks, months, well, you've been creating what's currently happening in the physical. And the physical materializes in a reflection to the spiritual, but there's a little bit of a lag time. There is a little bit of a lag time, but I will say, ever since the age of Aquarius began December 21st, the lag time is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Why is this? Because the earth is ascending to higher vibrations, and the human beings are living on the earth. Therefore, the human beings are getting DNA upgrades on a daily basis, and our vibration is increasing, meaning we manifest things quicker now. You manifest unwanted quicker and wanted quicker, okay? So, with that being said, if you want to change your situation, you got to change your vibration. And how do I explain this? You guys know what I'm saying, right? So let's say yesterday you were in a terrible mood all day long. You vibrated in a bad frequency, or quote unquote bad frequency. So today, you change your internal state because you made the decision, I'm going to change my life. I'm going to become my greatest version. I'm going to live my dreams. Okay? But what's going to happen is you're going to get a circumstance coming that you created from yesterday when you're feeling bad. It's going to come into your experience. And you got to know that, okay, I created this yesterday. I don't have to attach to this. I don't have to feel bad about this. Okay? Just because something's happening to you, it doesn't mean you have to give it a meaning. Okay? Nothing is good or bad, but thinking makes it so. Nothing is good or bad, but thinking makes it so. Okay? And just realize that everything in your life is a neutral experience that is happening, A, because you created it, and B, because it's something that happened for you to clarify what you want. Okay? If you don't want it, then change what you're focusing on. Change what you're inputting, you get change in the output, right? It's a cause and effect relationship. As within, so without. As within, so without. The universe materializes in reflection to you and how you feel about yourself. Okay, Jordan, but how do I define my vision of the future? Affirmations, bro. Affirmations. Let me ask you this. What are you seeing on a day-to-day basis? Are you seeing your problem? Are you seeing those bills? Are you seeing situations in your life? Or have you put your future all around your wall? Have you put everything you want everywhere in sight so that you can see it? Because you get what you think about most of the time. You get what you think about the most of the time. That's the strangest secret, Earl Nightingale, right? You get what you think about most of the time. You got to feel good. You got to feel good. Feel good and feel better. Feel good and feel better. Because when you're feeling good, everything works out for you. Why does everything work out for you when you feel good? Let me explain this. Why does it happen? Because when you're feeling good, you're in a flow state. And when you're in a flow state, you're vibrating a frequency that the universe, the universe is going to give you things. And since you're in the flow state, you're not resisting what's happening because you're not overthinking. Because what happens is when we're not in the flow, we're in this state called analysis paralysis, right? It happens to me from time to time. Where we're overthinking, we're trying to control everything. That's the ego. That's the past self trying to stay true to who it thinks it is. Okay, but you're not your ego. Your ego is just a part of the experience. You're experiencing the ego. You're observing the ego, and it's okay. The ego is not the enemy. And that's a book. It's getting popular right now. The ego is powerful. Okay, when you know how to use the ego and instead of letting the ego use you, right? The ego is powerful. It's an image of yourself. Who you think you are. Imagine if you can create an ego of the future self. Imagine that. Ooh. And that's not a bad thing. Nothing good or bad, but thinking makes it so. It's all just a neutral experience to teach you a lesson so that you can clarify more of what you want. But here's where it gets powerful. When you're in the flow state, in the present moment, on the frequency of your goal, aka feeling good, you're automatically thinking about what you want, therefore automatically creating it, and automatically allowing circumstance, situations, events to come into your experience. Now, with that being said, when you're in the flow state, you're more open to whatever the universe sends you in that moment, knowing that the reason why it came to you is because you were vibrating a certain frequency, okay? This is where it gets powerful, guys. If you're feeling bad, you're going to get situations that's going to reflect back to you why you feel bad. If you're feeling good, you're going to get situations to make you feel better, okay? So when you get an opportunity while feeling good, there's a reason why it's coming into your experience. Now, use discernment. You don't have to do everything that comes into your experience because this is what happens as well. When you start vibrating a really high frequency, you get a lot of opportunities come your way. Okay, you get everyone, because here's what it is. It's called, like, the analogy I like to use is, a lamp and a moth, right? Moths are dark energy or entities. They like to cling on to the light and kind of suck in that light from you. So if you're a highly sensitive person or a highly energetic person or a positive person, especially like maybe for the first time or not even for the first time, but just in general, what's going to happen is people that need healing will be attracted to you. Right? And I experienced this in my own life. I'm such a love and light in this world that people that need love and light are attracted to me, right? Because they want some of it. And that's fine. That's great. But remember this, guys. It's not your job to help others. It's your job to help yourself. And by helping yourself, that automatically helps others. Okay? So if you want to change the world, you must change yourself. Okay? As the outer world only reflects back the inner world. So if you want to make this big change in the world, not only change yourself, but you can help others change themselves as well. Okay? Because we are co-creating this reality. We are co-creating this reality. The physical circumstances are not fixed. The future is not fixed. We're going to get the future that we create vibrationally. Okay? That's the future we're going to experience on a collective level and on an individual level. Okay? So the best thing you can do for your family, for your friends, for your community, for your state, country, and for the world is to be the example you want to see in the world. That's the best thing you can do. Be the example you want to see in this world. It's called the 100th monkey syndrome, the spillover effect. Once enough people vibrate at a certain frequency, it's really only about 1%, about 70 million out of 7 billion people, or 8, whatever the exact number is, I'm not sure. But it's about 1% of the collective vibrating at a certain frequency in the light, in the love, in the fifth dimension, that will automatically shift the earth and it will shift the collective consciousness, okay? Automatically. Because we are all connected energetically. We're all cells in God's body. Think about it like this. Let's say, for example, you were a hand. Let's say the earth is your hand. To your whole body is God, right? You know, the exact dimensions of this it's not exact. Matter of fact, let's change it. Your earth is your finger, okay? Your earth is your finger. Your country is the fingernail, and you're a cell within that country, within the so on and so forth. So what's going to happen is, once a certain percentage of this finger is healed, or in the light, or in the love, that energy is automatically going to spread to the rest of the finger, or to the rest of the earth. It happens automatically. Energy rubs off. Energy rubs off. Okay, you're a vibrational match to whatever you're vibrating. If that made sense. You get into your life people, circumstances, situations, and events that match and vibe with your frequency. Okay, so if you want to change things in your life, you got to change things in your life. You got to change you. You want to change the circumstances, you got to change your vibration. Okay, what's your vibration? That is your embodiment of your frequency, of your dominant thoughts, your dominant feelings, dominant reactions. You can also call it your personality, okay? Your personality creates your personal reality. That's living in the future, living in the vision of the future. That's creating your own reality, okay? But when you allow your personality to create your personal reality, that's you living by memory of the past, by who you think you are, and how you're defining yourself is going to create your now moment. But when you let your now moment create your future moment, that's when, which is already happening automatically anyway, but when you do it consciously, now you're becoming a creator of your reality instead of a victim of your circumstance, okay? Nothing has to change in your current circumstance or situation for you to vibrate the frequency of that which you seek. When you realize that the outer world is an illusion, it's not real. The real world's within yourself. You are the only thing that's real in this world. Because why? Everything exists. You're only experiencing what you're aware of. And you're only aware of that which you are the vibration of. You're only aware of what you are vibrating at in that moment, in each moment, okay? You become aware of that which you're vibrating with. Why is that? Because your vibration is a feeling, it's a frequency, and thoughts are coming in from your past programs and from your future visions that reflect and align with your frequency and feeling in this moment. So this is why, for example, this is why affirmations are so powerful, okay? And this is why certain phrases are so powerful, because when you're feeling good, you're automatically vibrating what you want, okay? And when you're feeling good, vibrating what you want, the affirmations that you program into your subconscious mind are automatically flooding into your awareness, okay? Automatically. You don't have to go look at your notebook to think about your goal. You don't have to go look at your goal card to think about your goal, which are good things to do, not bad. You know, nothing's good or bad, everything makes it so. But when your subconscious mind has all the information in it already, okay? Now, with that being said, how do you program your subconscious mind, you might be asking? Well, you have to must understand the brainwave states in your mind. Your brain goes through, not the mind, the brain, right? When your brain is in theta waves, it is susceptible to programming information. So what's the best 2 times to program your subconscious mind is right before you fall asleep, right after you wake up. Or right after a meditation, because your meditation also can put you into theta waves as well. So when you say affirmations or write down your goals or read a book in those time windows, what's happening is your conscious mind is more or less not working, which means is whatever you put in there automatically goes into the subconscious mind, which creates programs. It creates programs, okay? So when your program is running your life subconsciously, you want to put programs in your subconscious mind from your future, okay? From your future. Put that into your present and program it consciously to create a subconscious program. Then the thought automatically comes in, okay? So there's nothing you can't do. There's nothing you're not able to do. There's nothing you're not capable of doing. You are a piece of the pie. You are a slice of the pizza. You are a cell in the body, right? You are a speck in the sand. You are a fucking water droplet in the ocean, and you're also an ocean within the water droplet. You're both, okay? You're both. Because you are a part of God, you have access to God, and technically you are God from that standpoint and perspective, okay? That don't mean, no, it does, bro. Like, it does, bro. I just explained it. You are God. The reason why you're God, you're not the is because everything that God is, you're made up of that same stardust. Okay? So you are infinite, you're an infinite creator, and the only limitations you really have are the limitations you put in your own mind, okay? And the physical body does have limitations, and what we can do on this planet do have limitations, but as we increase our consciousness, this is where it gets powerful, Jesus Christ. As we raise our consciousness individually and create this collective spillover, what's going to happen is our collective mind on the earth is able to access higher dimensional information because we have raised our awareness. Okay? When we're raising our frequency and awareness, we have access to higher information downloads. And this is why sometime in the near future, whether it's a year, 5 years, 10 years, 50 years, whatever, that's why we're going to be regularly using telepathy. I already use it. I'm a psychic. I already use telepathy. I do it on purpose. And I know when someone's thinking about me, like when I want to. Okay? You can do the same thing. I can teach you how to do that as well. But, I mean, I'm talking teleportation, telepathy, time travel. And by the way, time traveling, we do that every day. Okay? We do that every day in our own consciousness, in the fourth dimension. We time travel every day, or is it? Or no, sorry, the fifth. Is it the fifth? I don't know, dude. Like I said, fuck. I gotta research that a little bit more. But anyway, like I said, the time traveling is just experiencing your past and future, which you can do within your own mind. Okay? Everything that exists out there also exists within here. And the only reason it exists out there is because it existed within here first. Oh, God. Oh, shit. I hope you heard that. Everything that you see outside of you already exists inside of you. And the reason why it exists inside of you, that's the only way it could have existed outside of you. Because think about it. You are a human being, part of the collective. Everything you're seeing physically is something that another aspect of you created, or another version of God, another perspective of source, right? We're all coming from the same stardust. We're all coming from the same love and light, right? We're here on this human experience to evolve the planet. You know, humans got free will, and you know the egoic mind has ran this world for thousands of years. There's been a system of financial tyranny running this planet. You know, systematic control and oppression. You know, just it's slavery. You know, it's slavery, really. You know, people are on this planet right now, like completely being programmed without even being aware they're being programmed. You see what I'm saying? I was just talking about how to program yourself on purpose. Okay, but here's the reality: a majority of this planet right now we've all been getting programmed, but that are programmed so far that they're brainwashed. Okay. The government uses hypnosis techniques. I mean, they got the morning shows and the night shows on purpose. Why? Because people are about to fall asleep or they're just waking up, and they get brainwashed information in those 2 times a day. Okay? Therefore, it goes into their subconscious mind, and whatever's in your subconscious mind is what you will automatically believe or think about most of the time. Whatever's in your subconscious mind. Okay? So the human mind, the collective mind on a grand scale has been programmed, and that's why we're waking up. You know, and that's why you're on this planet right now. If you're watching this video, you know, you're probably on the same path as me. We're here to raise our own vibration so we can be a service to this collective, so we can raise the evolution of this human race. You know, as we evolve ourselves, we can help evolve others, and then that's going to evolve the human race on a collective level. You know, I'm looking forward to this golden era. The golden age is coming, right? You know, the technology the Atlantean people have, we're bringing that back to Earth this time as well. You know what I'm saying? The lifespan of human beings is going to increase drastically. But, however, the people that are following with the system, it's not going to be like that. So, you see, there's a lot of different potentialities that could happen as far as, you know, we're talking zombies, robots, aliens. By the way, aliens are already on this Earth. They look like humans because an alien is just a being that's coming from another planet. But realize all the planets are still coming from God. You see what I'm saying? All planets are coming from source. So even though we're maybe in the same universe or different universes or different planets or different solar systems, different galaxies, we're still beings coming from the same love and light. Everything is. Not only just human beings and aliens, extraterrestrials. Extraterrestrials are just another version of humans, okay? It's just another word. I mean, when you look at it from the standpoint of we're all multidimensional beings. We're all multidimensional beings. Whether you're living on Earth, whether you're living on Sirius, whether you're living on Arcturus, how the fuck you say it, or whether you're living on some planet I never heard of, okay? We're all multidimensional beings coming from source, no matter what. Okay, source is the source where the universe was created, where all potential universes were created, everything that you could possibly imagine exists, okay? Because if you can imagine it, that in itself proves it exists. How can you think of something that doesn't exist, bro? Try it. Because if you just created something in your mind that didn't exist, you didn't create it. You actually grabbed it from the Akashic records, meaning it already existed, but you vibrated at the level of receiving it, okay? So it actually already existed. You see, when you invent something, it wasn't your idea. I hope you realize that. You just received the idea because you run the vibration of the invention. And this is why you see, people all across the world working on the same inventions at the same time. How do they all think of the same thing? Because it's not their own thought. Like I said, you don't have your own thoughts. You don't have your own thoughts, okay? You have your own feelings, and based off of the information that's been put in your mind, you can incorporate your own belief systems, which are just programs or conditioned ways of thinking, whether unconsciously or consciously. Either way, that's something that could potentially happen. But like I said, bro, nothing is your idea. Nothing's really your idea. You're just receiving the idea. Okay, you can take credit for it, but like I said, if you come up with the person that came up with the telescope, it wasn't their idea. Okay, it wasn't their idea. They got the idea from the field and then downloaded it into their consciousness and then took it as their own. And not only that, the ETs that have been watching us for however long they've been watching us, they put shit in our field that we can pick up. Okay, you can actually get an invention from an extraterrestrial. Like, you would actually do that. All right, that's something I'm working on right now as well. Like, how can I be a vibrational match to an invention that's going to help save this human race? By raising my vibration, okay? You access thoughts that are on the vibration of you, okay? All right, guys, this has been a great video. I'm really glad we hopped on here. If you're watching this all the way to the end, like I said, if you'd like to work with me one-on-one and learn how to actually do what the fuck I'm talking about, actually hands-on, learn how to tap into your Akashic records, find out your future self and create the correct habits and patterns so that you can actually create the reality you prefer, hey, well, send me a message, dude. I'm working with a limited number of people because I'm one human being. But my Telegram as well, you can get free information, t.me/infiniteabundance. You can find smaller clips of information just like this on TikTok, infiniteabundance777. I go live periodically on Instagram as well, infiniteabundance777. And once again, guys, let's evolve ourselves so we can evolve this human race, man. Much love and peace.